Hello, ACS seniors, and congratulations to all of you. Congratulations for this night, this special time where we get to commemorate you and all of what you have contributed to Athens Christian School over your years in high school here. We're so proud of you and looking forward to great things from all of you. But I have the great honor and privilege tonight of talking about two of our outstanding young women who participated in many activities during their time at ACS, Molly Cole and Averi Hardwick. I coached both Molly and Averi in mock trial, and I also had the honor of coaching Averi in softball her sophomore and her junior years. Both of these young ladies are multi-talented, as you know, and while they both carry a calm demeanor on the outside, they have a fiery competitiveness on the inside, and that's always one of the things I admired about both of them. So let me start tonight with Averi. During her sophomore year, Averi played first base and pitched for the Lady Eagles, and that team made the state playoffs, marking the 6th year in a row that the Lady Eagles had made the state playoffs. But her junior year, she became our primary pitcher on the mound, and she led us to another state playoff berth where we came up just a little bit short and got knocked out against a good Holy Innocents team. But Averi was a real huge asset to both of these teams, and she always did whatever we asked her to do. It's one of my favorite characteristics of athletes that I've been able to coach, and that is that they trust their coach and put everything on the line, no matter what you ask them to do, and certainly Averi did that. But this year, Averi decided to come out for mock trial as a senior, and for the first time in mock trial history, we were allowed to field 2 separate teams for our region competition, and Averi became one of our lead lawyers on the gold team. The gold team defeated Jefferson High School in round 1 of region and then knocked out Oconee County in round 3. And while I knew she was competitive, there was a different and somewhat scary version of Averi that actually came out in that round 3 against Oconee County. I watched that round, and as Averi began her cross-examination, she started with an even tone, but as her cross-examination continued and the witness became more difficult, Averi cranked up the heat. As Averi kept hammering away on this poor girl, I really felt both proud of Averi and somewhat sorry for her competition. I've only seen a few people cry during a mock trial round, and while this young lady held it together while she was on the stand, I understand that she quickly lost it after she got off the stand. But the cool thing about this exchange was that Averi received the Best Lawyer Award for that round, which she deserved. And the witness who broke down actually received a Best Witness Award. I believe the judges respected the fact that this girl held up under one of the most aggressive cross-examinations that I've ever seen in high school mock trial. And when I walked out of the room to catch up with Averi after that round, she had this look on her face like she had just climbed Mount Everest. And I thought to myself, that's the same kind of look that an experienced trial lawyer has on his or her face when they realize they probably just won a case because they exposed the weaknesses on the other side. Averi, of course, is an accomplished equestrian. She was also an FFA officer during her high school years. I believe she's going to put that FFA knowledge to good use as she plans to pursue a career as a veterinarian. Nevertheless, Averi, if you ever get tired of horses, perhaps you will turn to a profession in the law, but you can only do that if you promise me that you'll become a litigator and not just a desk lawyer. So having said all that, I would, and the school would like to recognize Averi for her great contributions during her high school years to volleyball, to tennis, to softball, to FFA, to yearbook, to honor society, to Bible quiz, and to mock trial. Congratulations and thank you, Averi. So now let me turn to Molly Cole. Now, I had seen Molly in her many years at ACS while she was twirling or playing basketball as a young lady or acting in one of our plays, but I really did not get to know Molly real well until her sophomore year in high school when she came out for mock trial. I knew Molly's mom had been a trial lawyer, so I thought there was a chance that Molly would make a good lawyer. I was wrong. Molly made a great lawyer, not just a good lawyer. And I was really privileged to be able to coach her for 3 years. Her sophomore year, we had as much depth on our mock trial team as we'd ever had before, and we only could have one team that year. And so Daniel McDonald, John Lovall, Tristan Huff, Michael Broughton, the list goes on of folks that we had on that team. So that first year, Molly faithfully came to practice every day. She played an understudy role, and she learned what she needed to learn to really hit the ground running her junior year. And that's exactly what she did. By the time her junior year rolled around for mock trial, she already had a lot of knowledge, but also she had the perfect demeanor really for the courtroom. She was calm, she was smart, she was tough when she needed to be. But more importantly, when Molly stood up and started speaking in the courtroom, you knew who was in charge, and it wasn't you. The best way I would describe Molly is to say that she had a great presence in the courtroom. Now, this is one of the highest compliments that you can give to a trial lawyer. It means that they know they know what they're doing. They're going to outsmart you, but most importantly, they absolutely command the courtroom, and that's what Molly did. The mock trial team that we had Molly's junior year was the most successful mock trial team we've had in 11 years at ACS. That team came in second in region and lost the district championship by only 3 points out of a possible 660 points. But of course, the big news from that year and Molly's junior year was that the mock trial team received a special bid to the National Mock Trial Championship, which was being held in Athens, Georgia that year. This was the first year that any Athens area mock trial team, and there are a number of them, had been to the Nationals since Clark Central High School went back in 2004, 16 years ago. So this was a special honor for this team. We received the invitation to Nationals that year because the host state was allowed to have 2 teams and because of our showing in the district championships. But the real story for Molly about Nationals is that the format changes, and so you can only have 9 members on a team instead of 12. So that means that 3 of our mock trial participants had to perform 2 separate roles, 2 different roles. So we asked Molly if she could handle 2 different lawyer roles, and one for the prosecution and one for the defense, and she gladly said that she could. So with only 3 weeks to prepare and a brand new case to work on, Molly went to work. It was an incredibly fun case about the Georgia Theater burning down. And Molly was the only student lawyer who had a role for both the prosecution and a role for the defense as a lawyer. Molly not only put in the extra work needed, but she did a fantastic job. In her in her final Nationals round, Molly received the Star Attorney Award, and I'm sure she will cherish that for a long time. What we didn't know is that all this time working with other mock trial members would lead to a high school romance. But I may be stepping into treacherous territory there, so I'll stop with that part of the story. Anyway, coming into this year, Molly took on the lead role for the prosecution. It was a big reason we were able to advance to district for the 4th straight year. And I just want to stop and mention here that the state of Georgia went to a Nationals type format for the state competition this year. So once again, Molly found herself with dual roles, the lead role for the prosecution and also second chair for the defense. At the region competition, Molly received the Best Lawyer Award in 2 of her 3 rounds. And at district, the Legal Eagles, with Molly leading the way for the prosecution, barely lost out to 7A Northview High School out of Atlanta for a chance to advance to state. And really, Molly was a huge reason that we advanced as far as we did this year. So I can say that I've truly cherished my time coaching Molly in mock trial, and I look forward to following her career in the future. I believe she's going to UGA and planning on going to UGA Law School after that. Now, Molly, I also know you're a wonderful majorette and you have many other talents. You're a mainstay on Mrs. Reesop's twirling team, and I really wish I could talk more about that. But I know every one of your classmates saw your accomplishments on the field in this gift set that you had. So I'll let those great actions on the field speak for themselves. So as your mock trial coach and as a school, Molly, we would like to recognize you for your great contributions during your high school career to the ACS Majorette team, the Honor Society, the Student Leadership Team, Drama, and Mock Trial. Congratulations, Molly and Averi. We're really going to miss you, and we are so proud of everything that you did and everything that you contributed to the school. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Coach Smith, and tonight I want to talk to you about one of our seniors. Brian Rodriguez is graduating this year, and we just want to take a moment to recognize and honor his accomplishments and just celebrate him and what a wonderful man he's becoming, and just wish him luck on his way forward in life. So first off, I want to talk to you about some of Brian's contributions outside of the athletic world. This year, Brian was a member of the National Honor Society, and it just goes to show you what a hard worker he was, not only in the athletic realm, but in the classroom as well. In the 1 year that I've gotten to know Brian, I know how seriously he takes his studies, and I know he's going to take that work ethic with him to the next level. So we look forward to his continued academic success. Also, I'd like to talk about his contributions to the cross-country team. Coach Kayla has told me just what a wonderful athlete he was for them. His work ethic, his drive. He had such a contribution to their team dynamic as well, and he just displayed great leadership there. And I think he made everyone around him better there. And I know Coach Kayla and the cross-country crew were glad to have him. So he was a part of the cross-country team for many years there. And then my area that I got to spend the most time with Brian was wrestling. This is my first year as head coach at Athens Christian, and Brian was one of my 2 seniors this year. And Brian just did an excellent job this year. He helped me so much understanding our group of guys and what it takes to motivate them. He helped me understand what it takes to motivate him and what it takes to get the most out of him. In the wrestling room, he's just the guy that expects the most out of everyone in the room. He expects the most out of himself. He expects the most out of his partner, and he expects the most out of everyone else. It's very obvious that he has high standards for himself and those on his team, those on his side. Okay, so I just can't appreciate enough how much Brian did for the wrestling team this year. His example, his work ethic, and his leadership are going to be almost impossible to replace, and he's going to leave some enormous shoes to fill. But we're very happy that we had him for so long, and we're very happy with what he was able to accomplish. Talking about that a little bit, Brian this year went undefeated with the exception of 2 matches. He lost 2 matches this year and became the state runner-up at 132 pounds. This year, Brian made a tough weight cut, and he never grumbled about that. He never complained. I knew I could count on Brian to do what he needed to do to be successful. I knew that he would work hard in my room and that he was going to go after practice, go elsewhere and get extra work in. That's just the kind of kid that we're dealing with. And so we just want to celebrate him and wish him luck. And I know that if he brings the same attitude, intensity, and positivity to his future endeavors, that he will have all that the Lord wants for him. So we just want to thank you and wish you luck and tell you that you're just a wonderful example of the type of young man that we're trying to produce here at Athens Christian. And we know you're going to do great things. And if you're ever back in town, come back and see us. All right, Brian.
It's my privilege to get to talk about Caitlyn Brown, who was a ACS varsity volleyball player for the last 3 years, among very many other things that she was involved with. But I'm going to talk about the volleyball. First, I don't think I can talk about Caitlyn without talking about the kind of person she is, both her personality and her character. As a person, when I was first around her, she's one of those people that is goofy and laughs and is a good sport and lets you, and kind of is okay to be laughed with. I don't think we laughed at her, but we laughed with Caitlyn a lot. So she that's really fun as a volleyball coach to have people that are high energy and fun. So she definitely has that part, and Caitlyn, you're a blast to be around, and I've enjoyed the last 3 years getting to coach you. Speaking of like how she's been raised and her character, Caitlyn is probably one of the most respectful and polite girls that I've coached. Every question I ask, without fail, she responds to by saying, "Yes, sir." There's no doubt that she's incredibly respectful. And the third piece of it is her work ethic. I'm going to talk a little bit about what Caitlyn's been involved with at ACS, and she's incredibly invested in making her school the best that it can be by her giving her best at everything. So she started for me as a sophomore. My first year here, Caitlyn was a sophomore middle, and there were 2 seniors ahead of her, and Caitlyn earned a spot starting on that team. So she put in the work, she has the athleticism, and she worked really hard for it. So for 2 years, she was a middle hitter for me, and the second year as a junior, she was second team all-region. And I asked her to do something that most volleyball players do not want to do. I asked her to change positions and move from a middle to an outside, which means she plays all the way around. She's a primary passer. I know a lot of people don't know much about volleyball, but for those of you that do, that's hard. And it was a lot more responsibility for her. And as a senior captain, I said, I need you to touch the ball all the time. You need to be in plays. And Caitlyn did that well. She passed the ball really well. She was digging balls a lot. And she led our team in kills and aces this year. So Caitlyn was a huge part of what we did. And I leaned on her a lot. There's a lot of things as a captain. I said, I need you to give input on these things. And you did that honestly. And I didn't always do what you recommended, but there are times where I was like, okay, I want to hear your perspective. And I think you were a leader. You found out ups and downs, how to motivate your teammates, because you wanted to win so badly. You push people hard, which I think people will look back and be thankful for, and recognize that you just wanted us to be as successful as we possibly could be. So you were a thrill to have, and I was so thankful to be able to coach you for the last 3 years. And I did want to also say that this, I promised you, and you will receive that. And you'll be receiving your Senior Faithfulness Award for Honor Society, for volleyball, for football, cheerleading, which we talked about a lot, but I'm glad you got to do that, for basketball, soccer, track and field. So Caitlyn, I'm incredibly proud of you. I hope you will come around and help me coach, and I can't wait to see what God does through your life. Coach Anna and I had the privilege to talk about Cara Pinder in her Senior Faithfulness Award, and Cara was new this year to the volleyball program, transferring in from Florida. So Coach Anna and I both equally had an opportunity to observe her, and so I thought it would be a good idea for both of us to kind of share what we saw about Cara in her tribute. So for me, watching Cara, there's a couple things that stick out in my mind, and kind of the primary thing that I watched from her this year is her reckless abandon for competition. Cara was one that when we would be doing drills, she would dive after balls and hit the floor and kind of beat herself up going after making a play, and that kind of led to her having some injuries this year. But what it showed me is that she had a fierce competition, and she would do whatever it took to help her team and to do her very best. And so it was kind of a small sample size of just 1 year of getting to know her, but I saw in her that she was a fierce competitor. And the second piece that sticks out to my mind is that the deep relationships that she built with some of the volleyball girls from the very beginning. And she would go out of her way to be friendly to people and to connect with them and to find out who they are and what they're about. And she was just one of the girls. And it didn't seem to me in watching her that she was new. She jumped right in and was a member of the team just like everyone else. And so that just showed some fortitude that she had, and she was very confident in who she is. And I really appreciated watching that about Cara.
Cara was an amazing teammate. Coming in as a new girl, she could have easily kind of just sat back and been the person in the background, but she was always there encouraging her teammates, encouraging me as a new coach. This was my first year to coach volleyball, and so she was always there before practice with a smile on her face, asking what she could do to help, and after practice, was it okay for her to go? Was there anything else that she needed to do? Cara stepped up and was an amazing server for us this year. She played back row, and again, as Daniel said, was very, very scrappy and just gave it all that she had. There were times that I would have to take her out of the game and make her sit on the bench because I could tell, like, by her face that she was in pain, but she didn't want to come out. So I feel like if we ever had any conflict, it was because I made her come and sit down and she didn't want to come in, but she always did everything with a sweet, sweet attitude. But she just wanted to keep going and wanted to push. So I appreciated how much of an encouragement she was to me, how much of an encouragement she was to her teammates. She did everything, again, with a smile on her face, and I know that she's going to carry that throughout life and all the things that she does, and we were just very, very blessed to have her for this year in our program.
So it's our privilege to be able to give the Senior Faithfulness Award to Cara Pinder for mock trial and high school volleyball.
I have the honor and privilege of talking about McKenzie Cloud tonight. She's been at ACS for 8 years, and she ran cross country in middle school. And she took a little break outside of ACS, and then she came back. And I remember one day I saw her on the track, and I said, "McKenzie, we really could use another girl." And I knew she's tough, and I knew she could do it. And without hesitation, she did it. She came out and helped us because we needed some more girls. And that's just the type of mentality that McKenzie has. What can I do to help others? How can I make others better? So, this year she played basketball. I don't know if she's ever played in her life, but they needed some girls, and she's athletic, and so they asked her, and she did it. That's just what the type, it's not about her. And she was involved in National Honor Society, track and field. She's a soccer all-star. We're really going to miss you for that next year. Cross country, so many different things, yearbook. And one thing I know about McKenzie, she's involved in many other things too. She loves her family, she loves her church, she's involved in piano. She's like, "Hey, can I maybe start a little earlier today? I've got a piano lesson." I was like, "What?" She's like, "Hey, we're going to work with it." She likes to help others, and she's involved in a lot of things. And I always tell the seniors, just say a bit of advice for the upcoming runners, something they can leave them with. And McKenzie said one of my favorite things. She said, "Don't be afraid to do something hard." That was her advice. And not many people this day and age, first of all, know how to work. And second of all, are willing to do things that are hard. And cross country is probably the most hardest sport for a girl to do physically. And that was her advice, and that sums her up. She's a tough girl physically. She's a tough girl mentally. She's a tough girl spiritually. She knows what she stands for. And McKenzie, thank you for being a part of ACS family. Thank you for being a leader in cross country and everything else. I know you were a leader in soccer and track, national and yearbook, everything you do, piano, just church. But thank you for investing. Thank you for being a leader in cross country this year. Thank you for being a part and helping us when we need some more girls. And that will always stick with me. And I will use that line for years to come. Don't be afraid to do something hard. And I know McKenzie, she wants to be an elementary education major. And I know she's going to do great. Because she has the right mindset. First of all, she loves the Lord with all her heart. It's obvious. It can't help but come out. Second of all, she is not afraid to do hard things. So McKenzie, I know wherever you go, wherever you do, you're going to be fine. Because number one, you love the Lord with all your heart. Don't ever lose it. Always remember our theme, Waymaker. It's so funny that was our theme this year because the Lord, if I've heard that song once, I've heard it a million times this year. Waymaker, the Lord will make a way. We don't see him working, he's working. So never forget that. He is our waymaker. And number two, I'm just so thankful that you are tough. And I hope this has helped you. But man, you're a tough girl, and never lose that. So thank you for investing in cross country. Thank you for investing in everything you've done at ACS this year. You are a special girl. Don't lose it. And I love you so much. And I thank you for paying the price and being a part. You go, girl. Remember, we are not sorry. Always remember that. Love you. Bye. I have the privilege of talking about Heaven tonight. And Heaven, thank you so much for your faithfulness to ACS. And I know you ran middle school track for me, middle school. You did so amazing. You went to the state track meet 3 consecutive years in a row. And Lord willing, you would have gone this year. I think it was going to be your best year ever. And through it all, you've been faithful. That's the word, I think. And I know your favorite verse, be strong and courageous. You've been very courageous. I know you had me in middle school, but you had several different coaches in high school. And that's tough. And you've been strong and courageous. And here's the thing. I think this year, the Lord has a plan. I think this year was going to be your best year yet. You started running on your own. Remember doing sprints in the gym, getting after it and weightlifting. But the Lord had a different plan. But He took care of you. You reap what you sow. And you were going to run at Truett McConnell College, track and field. You go, girl. So thank you for being faithful. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for your smiles. I'll never forget your laugh and your smiles. It was so fun, and I'm really going to miss that. Thank you for being faithful. And I know your major is early childhood education, and I know you're going to be great because you have a great personality. And it's contagious. It makes me laugh, and you have fun wherever you go. But thank you for all the fun times. Thank you for being faithful to the track and field program. You could have said, new coach, forget it. I'm done. But you were faithful. Thank you so much, Heaven. And I know the Lord has big plans for you. Stay as close as you can to Him, and He will direct your path. I love you, and I think you're awesome, and I can't wait to hear what you're going to do in college. And by the way, Heaven has the long jump record at ACS, which is pretty amazing because we have a pretty freaking good track team in the past. And so, Heaven, you go, girl. And I can't wait to hear what the Lord has for you in the future. Love you, girl. Bye. I have the privilege of talking about Jalen Smith tonight. And Jalen, you're special. And I know you've been at ACS for 15 years. You might have been in my sister's first grade class. I'm not sure, but I think you were. But I know you ran for me middle school track. And y'all, you and Cody King were the hurdle crew. And Jalen, you have a sweet personality and a sweet spirit about you. And you were always kind and always thoughtful and always respectful. Even when I asked you to do the hurdle demonstration for my middle school girls PE class, you just have a sweet spirit. And I know you've played basketball since you've been at ACS, and I know you're a good basketball player. And I know your future plans are to go to college and a major in engineering, which is amazing. But Jalen, my word to you is thank you for being faithful. 15 years is a long time, ACS. Trust me, I did it too. But thank you for being faithful, and thank you for finishing strong with a good attitude. I know your senior year is a little different, but thank you for being faithful, and thank you for always having a sweet spirit. Never lose that. And always kind and respectful. And thank you for doing something hard, doing track and basketball. Thank you for that. But you are special. Never forget the Lord has a plan for you. And I'm so excited to hear what He has for you in engineering. That's amazing. So I hope you have a great rest of the summer, and I can't wait to hear what the Lord has for you. Jalen, you're special. Go get Him. Love you, Coach Kayla.
Good evening. It is my privilege to present senior faithfulness plaques to 4 seniors who have made major contributions to the ACS Drama Department. Interestingly, the 4 students I will be recognizing tonight are leading members of the ensemble cast of this year's one-act play, The Importance of Being Earnest. This cast was honored at the ACSI One-Act Play Festival in November with the award for the best play of the festival. The first senior to be recognized tonight is Robert Lovell. Robert has played important roles both in front of and behind the curtain all his 4 years of high school and in middle school. Everyone who works in theater knows the vital importance of the backstage and technical crews in the success of a production. Robert contributed to the backstage crew for the musicals The Music Man, Annie, and Newsies. He has also taken on increasingly sophisticated and difficult roles in acting since his freshman year. These include Pierre in Murder on the Orient Express, Angelo in Shakespeare's A Comedy of Errors, Don Pedro in Much Ado About Nothing, and Snyder in Newsies. Robert finished his ACS acting career in style, portraying Jack Worthing in The Importance of Being Earnest, for which he won an All-Star Cast Award at the GHSA One-Act Competition and the Best Actor Award at the ACSI One-Act Play Festival. Besides drama, Robert is a 4-year cross-country athlete, a campus ambassador, and a 2-year mock trial team member, where this year he won the award for the best lawyer at the district competition. Robert is also a member of the National Honor Society. He is this year's ACS star student, and he is one of the 2 class valedictorians. Robert will attend the University of Georgia, where he will major in theater and film studies with an emphasis in acting for the camera. Robert, you have lived the admonition of 1 Timothy 4:12, don't let anyone look down on you because of your youth, but be an example of the believers. Continue to live that truth as God leads you in the next chapter of your life. The next senior to be recognized is Raegan Reinking. Raegan has been an important contributor to the ACS drama department since 7th grade. In high school, she served as prop master for Newsies, and she has had roles in The Music Man, Annie, and several one-act plays. She is the only ACS student that I know who ever received the All-Star Cast Award 3 years in a row at the GHSA area competition. For Luciana in Shakespeare's A Comedy of Errors in 10th grade, for the leading role of Beatrice in Much Ado About Nothing in 11th grade, and for Gwendolyn in Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest in 12th grade. In addition to drama, Raegan was on the mock trial team for 2 years, and this year she received a Best Witness award at the competition. Raegan is also the vice president of the ACS chapter of the National Honor Society, and she is the class salutatorian. Raegan will attend the University of Georgia, where she will major in biochemistry. She plans to go to medical school and pursue a career in pediatric medicine. Raegan, your reputation here at ACS, as well as your career choice, shine the light on your passion for helping others. I'm confident God will use you in your life to do just that. The next senior to be recognized is Lydia Ann Mitchell. Lydia Ann, in her high school career at ACS, has contributed to the drama department, the mock trial team, the National Honor Society, literary, and ballet. Lydia Ann's contributions to the ACS stage productions as both an actor and a dancer include The Wizard of Oz, The Music Man, Beauty and the Beast, Annie, and Newsies. As a junior, she played Hero, one of the leading roles in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, and this year she played Cecily Cardew in The Importance of Being Earnest, for which she won an All-Star Cast Award at the GHSA Area One-Act Competition. Lydia Ann is also a member of the school's mock trial team, where this year she won an award for Best Witness in the competition. She is also a cheerleader, a member of the National Honor Society, the yearbook staff, and a campus ambassador. Lydia Ann is also one of this year's class valedictorians. Lydia Ann will attend the University of Georgia, where she will major in secondary education. She receives her senior faithfulness plaque for drama, cheerleading, mock trial, honor society, campus ambassador, and yearbook. Lydia Ann, your sweet, exuberant enthusiasm and optimism have brightened the halls of ACS for 8 years. We will miss you, but we are excited knowing that God will use your light to bless others in the next chapter of your life. The fourth senior I have to recognize is Ginny Green. Ginny has been taking on increasingly difficult roles in drama since she first appeared as a pick-a-little lady in The Music Man in 9th grade. She has had roles in Annie, The Comedy of Errors, and Much Ado About Nothing. And she really came into her own both as an actor and a singer in her role as Meta in Newsies, and then as Lady Bracknell in Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, for which she earned the award for Best Supporting Actress at the GHSA One Act competition and an All-Star Cast Award at the ACSI One Act Festival. Ginny has also competed for 2 years in dramatic interpretation at the GHSA Literary, and for the past 2 years she has helped to direct the ACS Summer Drama Camp. Besides drama, Ginny is a 4-year member of the ACS Mock Trial Team, where this year she was honored with a Best Lawyer Award. And although this has not yet been announced, another award that we normally present at the ACS Spring Banquet is the ACS Drama Student of the Year Award. This year, the ACS Drama Student of the Year Award goes to Ginny Green. Ginny, you are greatly loved at ACS, and you will be greatly missed. We are eager to see how God will bless your life and your service to the Lord.
I'm so proud of our 2019-20 auxiliary team. The leadership of the 2 seniors, Camilla Long, captain, and Sandra Heard, co-captain, balanced each other's strengths and weaknesses. They worked really well together. Certainly made the difference for the team of 12 members this season. The girls have served 6 and 7 years with flag and are considered advanced level flag. Camilla, I love having you part of the flag team, and I appreciate all that you've poured into our team. There is no doubt that you love flag. You are a beautiful performer. You have given endless hours to help make our team the very best. You've been our team motivator, always leading, whether it be makeup on game night, putting flags together, transporting flags in water, teaching skill to the entire team, and reteaching that same skill lots of times over, and always willing to work with the new team members. You always give so much heart to our team. You have been so faithful, and I love you so much. Sandra is so full of life, and definitely you've brightened up our practices and performance times. You are a beautiful performer. You've always seemed to be in touch with how your teammates are feeling and doing. The minute football season ends and parade is behind us, you are always onto cheer and then onto tennis. You are the happiest when you're involved here at ACS. You've helped encourage me more than you'll ever know, and you are so deserving of this Faithfulness Award because you know how to finish something that you start. I love you very much, Sandra. Mr. and Mrs. Long and Mr. and Mrs. Green, you have done so much for me. Your daughters and our band program. We love that you were always with us on the sidelines and with us wherever we went, when we traveled. It has meant so much to us. Camilla, you have received a faithfulness plaque this year for chorus, color guard, and praise team. Camilla, you are also the recipient of the Carla Thaxton Brown Auxiliary Award, voted by your 3 coaches. Congratulations. You are so deserving of this award. Sandra, you will receive a faithfulness plaque in chorus, color guard, cheerleading, tennis, and track. Camilla and Sandra, you are prepared now for your next step. Remember this place, ACS, and all those that love you so much. I couldn't be more proud. I love you both.
Matthew Gaddis has attended ACS for the last 5 years, during which I had the pleasure of being his band director. Matthew's favorite Bible verse is 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Matthew's favorite hobbies include playing Dungeons and Dragons, and he plans to continue his education by getting a computer science degree. I would like to present this award for senior faithfulness in Honor Society, Esports, and Band to Matthew Gaddis.
It's my opportunity and privilege to speak about Jason Fuentes in this video. I got to know Jason a little bit when he joined the soccer program as a freshman, and at that time I was serving as the head coach for the boys team. Jason is a hard worker. Jason is diligent. He dedicated himself to his craft of soccer, and he really had a desire to get better. It is really disappointing and sad for me to say that the soccer program had to be cut short due to these circumstances in our society with the COVID-19 and the pandemic. But Jason was bound for really, really good things. Jason has been at ACS for 4 years, so he joined us when he was a freshman. He has been in National Honor Society, football, wrestling, and soccer, and he has enlisted for 4 years in the U.S. Air Force, and he plans to work in aerospace medical service. So we are so proud of the academic accomplishments that Jason has exhibited. We're so excited about his future and what he plans to do, and we are honoring him for his faithfulness in finishing the task as a senior in National Honor Society and in soccer. Jason, congratulations. We appreciate the impact and the influence that you've had at Athens Christian School. It's my privilege to have the opportunity to talk about Josiah Cortese in this video. I have known Josiah for a number of years. He's been hanging around the soccer program for a number of years, having had siblings who played. And so when he got into ninth grade, it was really a natural step for him to join the soccer program and to become involved. And it has been a great privilege for me to see him grow as an individual and as a soccer player. I got the opportunity to know a little bit more about Josiah this year as he was in my calculus class. So I got to see him as a student. I got to see him interact with his classmates on a different level. I got the opportunity to get to know him, to see his drive, his hard work, what it takes to motivate him. And I'm really sorry that the soccer season was cut short. I know that he was looking forward to opportunities to play and opportunities to excel, and sadly that didn't happen. But I did want to take some time here on this video to honor him. Josiah has been at ACS for 9 years. He has been involved in National Honor Society, leadership team, cross country, soccer, track and field. He has worked really hard as a student, and I am so happy to be able to honor him tonight for faithfulness, for finishing the job in National Honor Society, cross country, and soccer. Josiah, we congratulate you for your graduation. We congratulate you for your faithfulness, and we thank you for the impact that you've had at Athens Christian School. Judah Holland, what can I say? When I was coaching the boys soccer program and you started as a freshman, we could see some tremendous potential. You've grown as a young man. You've grown as a soccer player. And I am disappointed that we were not able to see greater things from you as the soccer season was cut short this year. I appreciate your hard work. I appreciate your dedication. I appreciate you trying to join my calculus class when you weren't even in calculus class. But that was a great opportunity to get to know you a little bit better, as you would stop by and you would visit your classmates and you would visit us in calculus class. I really think you probably should have been in there anyway, enrolled as a student. Judah has been at ACS for 14 years, and he has participated in National Honor Society and soccer. He also played on the football team and was an all-region kicker during his junior year. He plans to attend University of North Georgia for the fall semester, and we are so excited about what God has in store for Judah. We appreciate Judah. We appreciate you. We appreciate what you have done for Athens Christian School. We've appreciated the impact that you have been able to have, and we wish God's blessing on you. For this virtual awards banquet, I'm excited to be able to talk about Logan Pace. I met Logan several years ago when he joined the soccer team, and I was coaching the boys at the time. And Logan is a hard worker. Logan is dedicated. Logan would strive to get better in his skill, in his craft, in his teamwork. And we are excited. I'm excited about being able to honor Logan this evening. I also got to know Logan a little bit more as he would visit my calculus class this year. He would stop by and he would visit, he would stop in, he would ask if he could stay. I really think Logan should have been enrolled in my calculus class. I think he would have done quite well as a student in there. But it has been a joy to get to know Logan Pace and to see his hard work, to see his dedication and what he has been able to do here at Athens Christian School. Logan has been at Athens Christian School for 13 years, and he has participated in National Honor Society and soccer, and he enjoys hunting and fishing as his hobbies. He plans to attend the University of North Georgia in the fall, and he would like to pursue a career in business. We're excited for Logan. We are thrilled for what he has been able to accomplish here at ACS, and I wish you only the best as you pursue your career in business. Alan Fuentes has been at Athens Christian School for 9 years. During his high school years at ACS, he participated in football, wrestling, and soccer, and I got to know him a little bit when he was participating in soccer as a freshman. I appreciate his work, I appreciate his dedication, and I appreciate what he has been able to contribute here at ACS. His next plans for his life are to leave for basic training in October, and he has enlisted in the Marines. So we are proud of you, Alan. We wish you only the best as you pursue this next step in your life and perhaps a career with the U.S. Marine Corps.
Good evening, seniors. I hope you're doing great. A little different here doing our senior banquet online and trying to do a little recording and all that good stuff. But I wish each of you the best, great things in your lives. I hope you spread your wings and fly like eagles and reach your goals and do everything that you choose. Make us all proud and just do super things. But I want to share a couple things here about 3 of my seniors who are going to carry on and move on with their lives and do great things in lives. I know that Blayze and Maddux and Eli are going to do super things in life. And I just want to speak real quickly about them. And we're going to have a senior night at the ballpark here where I'll share a little bit more about them. But just wanted to tell you how great these guys have been for us. And, Blayze Haddock, he's going to go on to Newberry College and play baseball and continue his education. And we're very proud of Blayze. And Blayze was a 4-year starter for us and was on a Final Four team in 2017. He and Maddux held down the right side for us. And Blayze is going to be just tremendously missed. I spoke highly about him on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and Blayze did everything and more that we asked for and that we could have asked for. And here's a fellow who drove 3 hours a day to come to school and play baseball and continue his education here at ACS, Athens Christian. And he's just been a tremendous asset to us, been a great player for us. Played all 3 infield positions except for first base. Played all 3 except for first base, and he did some pitching for us and was a great player for us. And Blayze is going to be just missed. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to replace him. We're not going to replace him. We're going to have to try to overcome his absence and see if we can do that. So, Blayze, I love you. You're going to do super things in life, man, and you know that. And we'll touch base soon, and we'll see each other again when we have our senior night at the ballpark. And the next guy, Maddux Seagraves, he's going to continue his education at Cleveland Community College in Shelby, North Carolina. He's going to play first base and go up there for 1 to 2 years, hopefully 2 years, and get his AA degree, and then continue on to a 4-year school. Maddux has started every day for us at first base. Was on a Final Four team in 2017, made the playoffs 3 of his 4 years. Well, 2 of his 3 years, and would have made it another time. I think this year, great things were going to happen to us. And Maddux was just awesome as a guy that went from not necessarily loving to be coached and to a guy that loved to be coached hard, and did everything I asked. He was just tremendous. I think he's like a career 990, 995 fielder at first base. I can't tell you the last time I saw Maddux make an error at first base, and he's going to be missed. He's always hitting the middle of the order. Even when he was a freshman, he was hitting 5.6. He and Blayze hit 5.67, somewhere around there. And as they got older, they bumped around 2, 3, 4. So he was our 3 hitter this year, and I was hitting about 400 when the coronavirus hit us and shut us down for the year. But Maddux is going to be missed. Maddux, he knows I love him. Maddux, I love you. If I can do anything for you, I'll see you on senior night. But if I can do anything else for you, you know who to call. And the last guy, Eli Smith. Eli came to us a couple years ago and had to redshirt his sophomore year because GHSA said that he was not eligible. So we got 2 years out of Eli's junior and senior year, and Eli was outstanding on the mound for us. I think he was all region on the mound last year as a junior, along with Blayze and Maddux being all region guys on the infield. And Eli was just tremendous. Had a great start to the year. Beat Tatnall, beat Prince in our last outing through 82 pitches in our last outing. I think 69 fastballs, and we beat Prince Avenue in our last ball game on a Friday night. And he was very electric. He was emotional. He had a lot of energy, and I'm always going to remember Eli. Eli's going to do great things. He didn't want to play college baseball. Could have played college baseball. I think we probably could have landed him somewhere. But Eli wants to be a welder. He wants to get into the trade business, and he's going to do great things. Eli's a great young man. Eli, I love you. I wish you the best, and I'll see you again on senior night, man. Hope you're doing great, and you guys know if you need me, you know who to call. Thanks so much.
I have the privilege of talking about Desiree Patrick. Desiree, you put the leader in cheerleader. You lead with a servant's heart and an encouraging spirit. That servant's heart allowed you to serve in ways that stood out to me this year. You did the tasks that had no glory in them. You were always willing to come along someone, roll up the cheerleading mats, pick up the trash when no one was watching, and clean up the cheerleading room after everyone was gone. You lead with an encouraging spirit, Desiree. You are so quick to recognize someone who's discouraged or down, and you immediately go by their side and bring them up from where they are. Desiree, I know you've gone through hardships in your life, and seeing you encourage someone like you do is pretty amazing to me, that you have not let those hardships create bitterness in your heart, but you allowed them and allowed the Lord to provide growth and make you better. You can recognize hurt. You can recognize when someone's alone, and you can go right to that person, and you know the seeds of hope to plant in their heart from Christ. You know the seeds of growth that the Lord can plant in their hearts. And I appreciate the fact that you're so quick to share that with someone else and to pick them up from where they are. That verse that you wrote, Proverbs 12:25, about how anxiety weighs a person down and a kind word builds them up. Desiree, you always offer that kind word. And I know that there are treasures in girls' hearts from God's word that you have shared with them over our season. And I appreciate the encouragement you've offered me as your coach. And that will always be a treasure in my heart. Desiree, that quality, that leadership quality of a servant leader, an encouraging spirit, it was recognized right away at summer camp when you got the award to be an FCA huddle leader, and you had the rare opportunity to minister to other squads, other girls as a high school senior, which is something that does not happen. And they entrusted you with that special privilege, and I think that's pretty fantastic, Desiree. You continued your leadership skills through our season. You never asked your teammates to do a job that you first were not willing to do yourself. And then you were encouraging by writing notes in people's lockers and leaving sweet notes in the children's room, playing an uplifting and encouraging music before the games. And you were referred to by your teammates as a mother hen. And I think that kind of sums it up, that you always wanted to make sure everyone was okay, everyone was bonding, and that we could be the best we could be as a unit, as a squad. And something else, Desiree, that stood out to me along with your servant leadership, your encouraging spirit, was your humility to grow. Anytime there had to be a correction or something had to make a change, when I spoke to you about it, Desiree, you were always very quick to receive that correction and to make the change for growth. And Desiree, that will take you so far in life. You know, recognizing our need for a Savior and then drawing closer to Him so that we can grow and make the change and make the adjustment to be the best we can be. Desiree, I know you're going to do great things in life. You're already in the field that you desire to be with a job this summer at in the dental program, and you're going to put a lot of smiles on people's faces as a dental hygienist, and I know that's the field that you want to work on. So because you put a lot of smiles of the faces in our crowd at the games and on my face and all your teammates that you were able to cheer with, and I appreciate that, Desiree, and I appreciate you and your faithfulness. Thank you also for serving in FFA, an ACS student leader, and as a patrol. And girl, you are going to go far in life, and you continue to let the Lord grow those skills that you already have of, like I said, a servant leader, having an encouraging spirit and having that humility to accept, to make the change and grow. You are a cheerleader for life, and I'll be cheering for you, Desiree. I love you and thank you for the privilege of serving together with you as your coach. And like I said, you always have a spot on our squad. I love you, Desiree. I have the wonderful privilege of sharing about Haleigh Phillips. Haleigh, girl, you put the cheer and cheerleader. When you put that uniform on, you have the ability to show such contagious enthusiasm and unprecedented energy and a motivation to give 110% at all costs. And girl, I respect that so much, and I have truly enjoyed being with you at every practice and every game, seeing you constantly share those qualities. You know, you not only have the skills of an amazing cheerleader, but you have the heart and you have the drive. And it's so recognizable, not just by me, but by anyone who is in your company and has been under your voice and under your spirit of cheer. FCA recognized that right away at summer camp when you were the only one to receive the All-American Award and cheer at the Chick-fil-A Bowl, which is such a special memory that you'll always be able to cherish. And you had the highest score out of anyone that tried out for our Eagle Children's Squad. And so I appreciate you setting a high standard for your squad to look up to. And something else that's really special about you, Haleigh, is that you never let all your accolades and all those skills and all those awards that you have received at ACS and through competition cheer, you never let those give you a sense of pride. You were always humble enough to take everyone where they were and said, okay, this is where we are and let's see how we can get better. And I appreciate your humility that you did not shove those things and shove those accolades in people's face, but you use that as a way of earning respect, and so that we were all able to listen and to grow and to see you shine, girl. And I know that you will be a cheerleader for life. It is in your heart, it is in your blood to have that enthusiasm, to have that energy, to have that motivation to give 110% and to cheer whoever is in your path on. And I pray that you will do that at your workplace with your patients. I know that you want to do occupational therapy. I pray that you would cheer them on to grow and to be better. And I pray that in your family, you would cheer them on with that energy and that enthusiasm, that motivation, all with that humble heart. And I respect you so much for that, Haleigh. You were such a pleasure and truly a joy to coach. It was such a peace in my heart knowing that I could count on you to carry out a job and to work through a situation and to give your absolute best. And I know that you did the same thing with cross country. And I know that cross country is a very tough sport, and you always gave your best at that as well. And so you were constantly in a place where you said, I'm going to do my best no matter what the cost. And it's so respectable, Haleigh. And it's a quality and a character trait that will take you far in the rest of your life. And I just pray that you would continue to hold fast to your Savior, and you would continue to grow and in your faith with Him, and just see what other people He puts in your life for you to cheer on, for you to motivate to give 100%, for you to share your energy with and to share your enthusiasm. Haleigh, you always have a place in our squad, and you have such a servant's heart to share your skills with others. There's so many little girls that look up to you and want to be like HJ and want to cheer like HJ or tumble like Haleigh and stunt like Haleigh. And I pray that you would always carry that willingness to serve and willingness to motivate in your heart. And I know you will, girl. And I'd love to use you all throughout my cheer days as an example and as a motivation for other girls to give their best and see what it looks like when you give 110%. I sure do love you, and I missed you already, but I'm not saying goodbye. I'm saying see you later, because I want you a part of you know, this cheer family for life, because you're a cheerleader for life, Haleigh, and I sure do love you, girl, and I appreciate all you've done at ACS, and especially this year with allowing me the privilege of coaching such a quality athlete as you. I sure do love you, Haleigh. Cheers. You keep cheering, okay? Mwah.
It has been a blessing to me to have so many fantastic students in my classes this year. Students that have a passion for music and who strive to be better and who put in the work that it takes to reach their music goals. Alexa Romera has been one such student. Her positive attitude brightened my classroom every day, and her talent and strong work ethic made her a quiet leader in both her section and in the choir. No matter the task at hand, no matter the challenge of a song, Alexa always accomplished the job with a smile on her face. I'll always remember our humorous struggle with the Spanish pronunciations in El Majo and how Alexa persevered through this difficult song. She carried her joy with her to other classes as well and continually strived to make a positive impact on her peers. She was a source of encouragement to others in the choir and also to me. Alexa, your optimism, commitment to excellence, and your joyful spirit have been a spring of blessing to me this year. I am looking forward to hearing about the many ways the Lord will use you in the future, and I'm blessed to honor you with the Senior Faithfulness Award for Choir. Congratulations.
Gabby Martin has been extremely active at ACS in her 10 years here, whether it was basketball, track, cross country, National Honor Society, yearbook, an ambassador, 3 years working with me as a leadership student. And I think we've all come to realize that Gabby is fiercely competitive. Doesn't matter if it's basketball or track, or if it's just ping pong or cards or whatever, the girl wants to win. But I think we've also just come to realize that we just all respect Gabby. She's just got this measure of respect that I think that comes from her just high character, her truthfulness. She is not afraid to say what she believes to be true and share that with others. And then also just her relationship with God. I think it's just very clear that she loves God and walks with Him. And so whenever, Gabby, you walk into a room or whatever team you're on, the atmosphere in that place just really changes. And I think the atmosphere is really elevated from just your character and the fact that you do bring God into that space with you. When you speak, people listen. And so I know you're heading off to college to maybe study interior design, maybe pursue something else. But I just hope that whatever you do in the future, and you could do so many things and be successful. I'm confident that you could pick anything out there and you would be successful at it. I hope that whatever you do, you just continue to use that respect that you have, and even that sense of competition to continue to just point people to Jesus. So we're going to miss you at ACS. We love you so much. Gabby Rivera has been at ACS for 10 years, and she has been very active as a cheerleader, as an ambassador, in those drama productions, on Honor Society, and then with me for 3 years on leadership. I've just so enjoyed getting to work with Gabby and see her grow. And I think a couple words that would describe her is she is a consistent leader. Gabby's just so consistent. Couldn't be quiet, but just so consistent, whether it's as a senior on that cheer squad, or it's teaching dance to those younger girls, or in leadership, just kind of serving as a role model. And for our younger students, you're just so consistent. And we just appreciate that about you. I think another word that describes you would be loyalty. I think we've all just benefited, our community at ACS has benefited from the type of friend you are, the type of student you are. You're just very loyal. You're very trustworthy. If you say something, we know that it's going to happen. It's true. If somebody shares something with you and asks for your confidence, we know that we can trust you to keep that. So you're just consistent and you're loyal over and over and over again. You're just kind of good at relationships and easy to be around. I know that whatever you do in the future, I know that you're going to be successful at that, whether it's maybe being a teacher one day. I know you're thinking about going to college for that, whether it's having your own dance school where you're teaching kids how to dance, girls to dance. I know that whatever family you're a part of, you as an aunt and maybe one day as a mom and a wife and all that, I know that you're just going to be the most amazing person for your family moving forward. So people around you, Gabby, they're better off as well when you're there. And so we're going to miss you at ACS, but we also can't wait to see what you do in the future. We love you.
Congratulations, June and Chan. Sort of hard to talk about both of you individually right there because your lives have been so intertwined since birth. But I will try to, right here, take a few minutes to single each one of you out. June, thank you so much for your hard work and your dedication to the tennis program. You've done a great job playing #1 singles for us. Proud of your work, proud of your effort. You're a strong competitor, and I really appreciate that. And it's just such a great experience and opportunity working with you, getting to know you. You're very quiet. You don't say much, at least around me. And I thank you for your leadership on the team that you've provided for the last 4 years and the work that you put in there. Congratulations to you for receiving a Senior Faithfulness Award for your participation in tennis and your hard work academically in being a member of the Honor Society. Chan, thank you for the work that you've done over the 4 years here playing tennis, playing doubles most of the time. I appreciate your willingness to work with us and even play some singles matches this year. I know that's not something that you definitely wanted to do, but I appreciate you doing that for us and helping us out. Your dedication to the program was strong. Again, very silent, very quiet individual, but I know there's a lot of strength there in you. You do compete, you do battle. You're an excellent student. So thank you, both of you young men, for your work this all 4 years, but especially here as seniors. Chan, thank you for being a member of the tennis team, for being a member of the Honor Society, and for serving as a school ambassador this past year. And thank you for your dedication. Good luck to both of you in the future and everything that you do. We love you and we appreciate you. So Senior Faithfulness recognition for Cody King. Cody, thank you so much for your dedication, your commitment for tennis the past 4 years. You put in so much extra time over the years, and I know you've been a very busy individual. A national champion rifle shooter, competing all across the country. A lot of people may not know that about you. President of the Honor Society this past year, a member of the Honor Society. Just an active part of the cross-country team. Whether you wanted to do that one or not, you did that, and appreciate your work and your leadership out there. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate your competitiveness. When I talk about you three seniors on the tennis team this year, that's one thing. You're very competitive, but you had a drive. You would not quit. You would not give up. You fought me on playing #2 doubles all the time, but that's okay. I want to congratulate you. I know you're going to be a great success in everything that you do. You're a hard worker. You give your very best effort and attitude. Congratulations for being selected as an area regional winner for the Positive Athlete Attitude Award here. Most folks don't know about that yet. And so that shows just a lot of who you are and what you're about. Again, thanks so much, you, your family, for what you have meant to us, to the school, to the tennis program, and to everything in general. We wish you the very best. God bless you, and we love you. I need to add one more note about Cody King. I can't believe I left this off when I was talking about him previously on the video. Cody has done something that very few people in schools' histories do, and he's had perfect attendance, not just for his senior year, not just for high school, but for 15 years. There are a lot of kids who struggle to make it 5 days in a week. Cody, 15 years of perfect attendance. Congratulations to you, Cody. Very proud of your dedication and commitment and faithfulness for such a tremendous accomplishment. I want to talk for just a minute or two about Hailey Sternberger, senior here at Athens Christian School. Very proud of Hailey and her work over the years. Been a strong academic student. I remember having her in 10th grade history. Great job there this year as a senior in Bible. Excellent job from an academic standpoint. Member of the National Honor Society. Her schoolwork has always been very important to her and is always giving her best effort in the classroom. All of us as teachers, we greatly appreciate that, Hailey, and thank you for your hard work and dedication there. This year, she was a cheerleader for football. I don't know if she'd done that in the past, but she decided to do that this year and did a great job on the cheerleading squad. And so thank you for your participation in that. But from my personal standpoint, watching you the past 2 years play basketball for us and being in a position to coach you, to work with you, to get to know you in a much better way. You're a fierce competitor in the classroom and on the court as well. You have a strong desire to excel and to give your best at all times. I know that this year you battled through some injuries and you had to face that, but you were there, you were dependable. And like I said, I appreciate your hard work over the past 2 years for me, but 4 years on the varsity basketball team. Thank you so much for that. You were a leader. You didn't mind saying the tough things sometimes that needed to be said. You never quit. You never gave up. And I appreciate that effort from you. Thank you so much. Your senior faithfulness in being a cheerleader this year and playing basketball and a member of the Honor Society. You will be greatly missed here at ACS. We thank you so much. It's my privilege to take a few moments to talk about Michelle Lee. Michelle was only here at Athens Christian School for her senior year for this year. She's a foreign exchange student from China. We're so excited that she was able to come and be with us. She stayed with the Cummings family this year. And one of the things that I really like about Michelle is that she did not hesitate to get involved in activities. She jumped right in. She played on the volleyball team this year. When we needed some help with basketball, she jumped in and helped us out with the basketball team, both dressing out and partly serving as a manager for the team also as well. And she never hesitated to do anything that was needed or asked of her. She participated in drama and was also a part of the chorus, but she's also a bright student. She's a member of she was selected for the National Honor Society this year. Michelle does a great job academically. Her schoolwork matters to her. It's important to her. She's just a sweet young lady. We're excited about the opportunities that she has. We're thankful that God opened the doors for her to be able to come to Athens Christian School this year to hear the gospel, to hear the word of God, and we just hope that she takes that with her wherever she goes, whatever that next step is that God has planned for her, that he continues to open doors for her. Michelle, thank you so much for your senior faithfulness, for your 1 year here at Athens Christian School with volleyball, with basketball, drama, chorus, and honor society.
Jarrett Boyd, special player, always came to basketball practice to work, gave it everything he had, every game, every practice. Just an all-around great kid. I really enjoyed working with him and coaching him the last 2 years. He was also a part of the leadership program here, the Honor Society, and ambassador program. Love the kid to death. He's just a hard worker. He meant a lot to the team, to his teammates, and also to me. Just an all-around great kid. Stuart worked really hard. Stuart was an awesome teammate. He sacrificed his body night in and night out. Never met a kid that took as many charges as he did. Just a great kid. He worked hard. Anything we asked him to do, he did it, and he did it 100%. Really enjoyed working with Stuart the past 2 years. It was a great experience to coach. Great kid. Came over, exchange student. It's hard to come in a place and fit in, but he did, and he worked hard. He played JV with us and practiced with the varsity, but it was a pleasure getting to know him this past year. Wish I could have had more time with him. Jalen Reid. Jalen got a chance to play JV this year, practiced with the varsity. He always had a positive attitude, never complained. It was a pleasure working with Jalen this past year. Trey came in and he worked hard. He worked hard to gain playing time and to help the team any way he could. Really proud of the progress he made in the last 2 years, and it was a pleasure coaching him.
As a part of our senior recognitions, Jackson, it's my privilege and opportunity to speak on your behalf. I want to tell you, first of all, congratulations on finishing your senior year and completing the task that was in front of you. I want to thank you, number two, for the opportunity that I had to work and be a part of your life for the last 4 years in varsity football. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything you were about. I wish you the very best. I thank you for your faithfulness. As Jeremiah 29:11 says, which I know was one of your favorite verses, God does have a plan for your life. I pray that you would let him work that plan in your life for his honor and his glory. I wish you the very best at American International College. I pray you have a great freshman year, a good start on the football program, and next steps for you. Again, congratulations. Wish you the best. Sammy Beasley, it is my opportunity and privilege to recognize you for Senior Faithfulness Award. I do consider it a privilege to speak on your behalf. It has been a pleasure to know you the last actually 5 years, but 4 years for certain on the varsity football program. You have been a major component of that, and I'm very appreciative. I thank you for your faithfulness on the field in completing and pushing through some nagging injuries, some pain at time where you went out and did your job. And I appreciate that for your adversity, pushing through that adversity. I want to remind you of Jeremiah 29:11, that God does have a plan for your life, Sammy. And I want you to seek that and let God work that plan. You can have a difference and make a difference for him in this world. You're a tremendously gifted young man, and I wish you the very best. Congratulations on your recognition by region coaches as an offensive lineman all-region player. I again wish you the best in the next steps. Congratulations on completing graduation from high school, and let this be the diving board off to the next steps for you. I wish you the best, Sammy. Congratulations. Chris Jackson, it is my opportunity and privilege to recognize you for your Senior Faithfulness Award. It has been my privilege to coach you. It's been my privilege to be a part of your life, and I don't take that for granted. I thank you for that. I appreciate your faithfulness with the football program, baseball program, basketball program in your 4 years here at ACS. Obviously, I speak from a football perspective. This year did not go as we wanted it to when it came to injury. I can still see I believe it was a Tuesday in June. Matter of fact, I know it was a Tuesday in June at Greene County. We did not get what we wanted that day in regard to injury to your knee. But I tell you, you showed a lot of behaviors that are going to make you successful in life, Chris, as you got back up and battled back to be and do and be the best teammate you could possibly be, even though you weren't allowed to play with the knee injury. You were consistent and faithful and a supporter all year, and I appreciate that, Chris. Remember Philippians 4:13, which you list as one of your verses. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Rely on his strength as you go to your next steps. Congratulations in completing your high school graduation. Congratulations in that. I wish you the very best in the next steps. Wish you the best, Chris. Thomas Stevenson, it is my opportunity and privilege to recognize you as a part of our Senior Faithfulness Awards. It's been a privilege to have the opportunity to know you many years, but especially all 4 of your high school, and to have you a part of the ACS football program. You have been a tremendous asset to our football program. You embody much of what our program should be about, and we are very grateful and appreciative for your time with us. I want to congratulate you on completing your high school experience, getting your high school diploma, and getting ready for the next steps. You're going to be great at what you do, and I wish you the very best. I saw your verse you listed, a friend loves at all times and a brother is born for adversity, Proverbs 17:17. You've been a friend to many, many times, and you've also been a brother to guys in the middle of adversity, and I am proud of you for that. The list of your involvement in your high school career, I'm going to have to look and call them out, but National Honor Society, Spring Musical, one-act play, choir, football, soccer, tennis, the DAR Good Citizenship Award, honorable mention all-region football, a permanent captain for ACS football. So many things you've been involved in, and you've done each of them with excellence. I wish you the very best, Thomas. Pray God's blessing. If I can ever be of help, let us know. Again, congratulations.
Tina! Your Class 2 Kimmate Cody King would welcome you almost every day into our classroom with this energetic greeting, right? Yes, we know he was just being ornery, but we were all in agreement that we were always glad to see you each day. True, it is not your character to want to be in the spotlight or push your way into other people's work or life. You are a quiet, gentle force. And in fact, it's ironic. You of all people did not seek to draw our attention. You were gentle with us. You set high standards for service and academic work for all of those around you. You are a young woman of action. From the first day you set foot onto ACS grounds, you look for opportunities to serve and to participate. The kindergarten teachers so appreciated each day of faithfulness as you showed up to greet the children as they got there, to escort them from their cars in all kinds of weather. Come on. You logged over 30 hours of community service just in this year alone, working with National Honor Society and the Food Bowl, the veterans at the VFW as you helped them with their float, working with your fellow physics classmates as you built the incredible hovercraft, which kicked off Operation Christmas Child. And you also helped with the filling of those 40 boxes that the senior class donated this year. You also worked hard for me. As the National Honor Society advisor, I want to say thank you for your service as the secretary for our group. You helped prepare that ceremony for those 2020 inductees. And I can't thank you enough. In addition to your hours of service, you also succeeded in bearing a weighty academic load. and maintaining a 4.0 average. Congratulations. That heavy schedule included 3 AP classes, Chemistry 2, Physics, and dual enrollment classes. I want to thank you personally. As we moved to the online session, we teachers and you students went behind the digital screen to continue your learning, and you showed up every day. Even with a whole hour offset from Georgia time, you showed up without missing a beat. You handily produced a roller coaster from paper, shoestrings, and sriracha peas. And did chemistry with coffee filters and red cabbage. So you've left no student any excuses for getting things done. It just takes a little drive and creativity, right? And that's what you have. And that's what you've used. And that's what you've given to us. You've given us your drive, your creativity, your ability to serve and to love others without condition. So, come on. In closing, Tina Dunn, thank you for being faithful to your academic work, to upholding the 4 pillars of the ACS National Honor Society as a member in good standing and as its secretary, for being faithful to your work in mock trial and your contributions to track and field. May the Lord richly bless you as you begin your new path, as you begin coursework at Purdue University. We love you and we thank you. Ben Higginbotham, thank you so much. You have brought the most levity and cleverness to this class, and then you're the sneakiest, quietest one of the bunch. There will never be another one who can wear a full formal light up kitty full dress suit for Christmas like you. And each year at ACS and each class, you've brought the A game. Since you were young, you brought the A game. We know that you had health struggles, but thank you for persevering. Thank you for always showing up. Thank you for coming back and having all that work done. We know that that's something that is a standard for you. We thank you that you're a good friend to your fellow classmates. You are that gentleness and that kindness that sometimes they need. And that quiet, like I said, levity that comes with knowing Ben Higginbotham. So, we want to honor you. We want to thank you for your faithfulness at ACS, because there's never going to be another one like you. And we're thankful for that. God has made you unique, and we pray that you'll continue to use your gifts for His glory. You're that mystery student, that brilliant yet unassuming. You're probably going to be that next Tolkien. Oh wait, that's not how you say it, is it? It's Tolkien. Or C.S. Lewis. We need good thinkers. We need people of good humor. We need people who are going to be good word crafters and musicians. I know you play guitar. So we're looking for you to lift us up. We need it. So, I'm going to read a passage from the Fellowship of the Ring. It's kind of apropos for this day. I wish it need not have happened in my time, said Frodo. So do I, said Gandalf, and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us. Thank you, Ben Higginbotham, for for your faithfulness in your academics, for your faithfulness in just keeping things light, in your daily demonstrations of godly character. It's been a great ride. We're thankful for you to be a member in good standing of the National Honor Society. And we look forward to what you will do with the time that's been given to you. Madison Rowe, as the prettiest member of the Rowe clan, sorry AJ, you're the hardest one to define. Are you makeup artist? Are you a power tool wielder? Or maybe a shark lady? We know you're not one to pull any punches, and you speak your mind. But usually you're just after the truth. So I have a poem for you. It is about a strong woman, which we know you to be. But is that really what you wanted to be? This is by Luke Easter and D. Cheeks. A strong woman works out every day. Pride in her appearance she portrays. But a woman of strength kneels to pray, keeping her soul in shape, God leading the way. A strong woman isn't afraid of anything, looking forward to challenges each day will bring. Women of strength show courage in the midst of fear, knowing triumph through faith because God is near. Strong women won't let anyone get the best of them, so skilled in defense, even if they have to pretend. Yet a woman of strength gives her best to everyone, knowing she's anointed with blood from the begotten one. A strong woman makes mistakes and avoids the same for tomorrow, refusing to take time looking back with reverence and godly sorrow. The woman of strength realizes life's mistakes, no matter how slim, while thanking God for the blessings as she capitalizes on them. A strong woman walks sure-footedly with no doubt in her mind. Again, no matter what, she'll make that mistake never a second time. But a woman of strength knows God will catch her when she falls. So when a situation arises again, she's not afraid to answer the call. A strong woman wears a look of confidence on her face, always doing whatever it takes to finish, seeking only first place. But the woman of strength completes with an emotional sense of grace, understanding it's more important to run a Holy Spirit-filled race. Strong woman has faith that for the journey she'll have enough, no matter how uneven the terrain or roads being rocky and rough. But a woman of strength knows it's in the journey that she'll become strong, and the love of God is forever with her, no matter how difficult or how long. So we are thankful you're becoming a woman of strength. For it truly is a lifelong journey. And I am thankful to know your many talents were not hidden, whether it be makeup artist or power tool wielder, or that love you have for marine life. All of those things God can use. Because whether you build a hovercraft for physics or make someone beautiful, you have a gift of seeing the inner beauty and to be able to build that out into a world that sometimes needs more encouragement in those areas. So I'm thankful for your strength, shown in times of your own health difficulties. Because I know it hasn't been easy. But you kept showing up, and you kept coming back, and you kept doing your work, and you kept being academically strong. And we know that God has gifted you with a great mind. And you've had a pretty heavy academic load. And we're thankful for your faithfulness. And thank you for your diligence and your academic strengths. We thank you for the grace you've shown as you've been in choir and the flag corps, as you've made many beautiful things from both the music and the makeup. And we thank you for your faithfulness over the years. And may the Lord bless you and guide you in your next steps as you pursue your dream to become a marine biologist. We love you. Hannah Elizabeth Dean. The character of a graduating class is often set by the individual students in that class and their accomplishments. So as we take a moment to focus on Hannah, we find a quiet and a gentleness that makes up this 2020 class, embodied in this petite and academically strong young woman. As she intends to pursue a career in nursing, we agree that she possesses the qualities necessary to be successful. In this field, you have to be strong. And she has a strength of character. She's demonstrated that through her academic performance in classes like chemistry. And we're thankful for that for her. This academic performance speaks volumes about her character. She has a quiet and giving and peaceful spirit. And we know that that gentleness and that compassion are going to be necessary components of being a great nurse. So, as I'd like to borrow a little bit from William Shakespeare, and though she be but little, she is fierce. Nurses must be fierce. The road to recovery for some patients is very long, and they need those gentle persuaders along the way to encourage them. And I know that Hannah has the foundation to do this. I know she has the strength to do that. And I like her verse. Her verse from Isaiah 41:10, where God is talking to Israel specifically, but it does apply to us. It says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And Hannah, even when you're not sure, and things may still be somewhat unclear, that's what faith is. Faith means taking that step and keeping on moving on. Keep on moving on. And over these last few weeks, another verse from Isaiah comes to my mind, and I've clung to it. The Lord shall guide thee continually. Isaiah 58:11. Continually. That means always and on, in every moment, in every day. So we would like to encourage you in that. Let him guide you continually. Thank you for your academic faithfulness to ACS as you've been here these last 13 years. Your faithfulness, your godly character, and your faithfulness in the National Honor Society. Thank you for upholding those pillars of excellence and community and service. We're thankful for you.
This year, I got to know Colton Smith as he helped me with computer projects all over campus. Colton is a true ACS Eagle. He's been going here since kindergarten. During that time, he's made many valuable friendships and served on the praise team. One of his favorite memories is the time that they had a study hall at the International Safe Zone. He also really liked his 8th grade trip and his 10th grade trip. Colton loves to read, play guitar, and of course work on computers. That's why I'm so excited that he's decided to pursue computer science at Augusta University. It's the perfect fit. During this time, Colton has become a bright, trustworthy young man who no doubt will achieve great things. Jeremiah writes, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." Colton, I'm so proud of you, as I know so many others at Athens Christian are, and I know you will achieve big things. Best of luck in all that you pursue.
Hello, it's indeed an honor to speak about two young people that have been in my FFA program at Athens Christian School. I want to start out with Cody Hicks. I only had the pleasure of teaching Cody 2 years. First year he took the electrical wiring class and he competed in the sub-area competition. And then this past year he took my forestry class and he was my teacher's aide in the electrical wiring class. He was very instrumental in helping the students that were in there because he's already been through it and knows what to do. And as I'm working individually with one student, he could be helping with others. And at times he would do a wiring problem and show the speed that they would develop. And I know many times at the beginning they are concerned because they're so slow at wiring. And he was able to tell them, hey, I was the same way when I started. Look at how fast I am now. And he went this year to the sub-area contest and won that competition and got a nice tool pouch to use for himself, and then did a good job at the area competition, just falling slightly short of making it to the state competition. And it's been a joy of mine to teach Cody, very well-mannered student and always did a good job in the classroom. He was a quiet leader that you didn't have to tell him to do things. He would just quietly go and do those, and never did do an office in the FFA just because he's that kind of person. Kind of reminds me of myself when I was in high school. I didn't like to get up in front of people and talk, and sometimes I felt like Cody was that way. For Cody's Faithfulness Award, he was also in soccer, of course, in the FFA and in the Honor Society. The second student that I want to talk about is Gabriel Hill. Now, Gabriel is a little different. He's been in the ag program every year that I've been here, 4 years now. And I actually got to know Gabriel before that because we go to church together, and he was in the 5th grade Sunday school class that I taught with my wife. And it's been amazing to me to see how Gabriel has grown up and matured over the years. He's been an FFA officer every year. He's done 5 different career development events or contests with us. I think his first year was in the wildlife judging competition and got the award for the high individual in that contest and did a good job with that. He's been in the forestry competition with me, poultry judging, where they were second in the area this year, and we were really hoping to win state because the team that beat us was a few points behind. When I compared all the teams in the state, another team would have been second. And there was one thing that I misled them on that cost us 40 points, that if they would have got that and it was easy, we would have tied them for the area competition. And we're disappointed because that state competition has been canceled because national has also canceled their competitions for the upcoming national convention. Gabriel has also been in land judging, and I can't remember what the other one was. He took the electrical wiring class. Environmental natural resources was the other one that he was in. And he was our president this year, did an outstanding job. And one thing that was great about Gabriel was, even though he played a lot of sports, had football and track and different things, he always made time for the FFA meetings. He made sure he was here. And we sat down when we planned the year out and did these so it wouldn't be on Friday nights during football. And he always made the meetings, and then he would leave and go to practices. And it was nice to have coaches that would work that out with him. And I'm truly going to miss Gabriel this year. That senior leadership that he brought along with Cody was just outstanding, and I will miss him, especially after 4 years of being in the program. And he knew what to do when we had fundraisers, and you didn't even have to ask him. He was going and doing those and did the right thing, and he steered a lot of our younger members the way they needed to be steered. So thank you, Gabriel, for that. something. And his faithfulness award, of course, he was in football, wrestling, the track, and then, of course, with FFA. Seemed like he was always doing some kind of sporting event or some kind of activity. Well, that's the two I got to talk about. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with them, and I look forward to what they will do in the future as they go to college and pursue other things to do.
I'd like to take a minute to talk about Emily Bicknell. Emily came to Athens Christian School in K-5 and then left for a number of years and then rejoined us in order to finish up here at ACS. We are excited about what God has in store for her. She's been at Athens Christian School for 7 years, intermittently, and she has enjoyed several activities during her time here, athletically and aesthetically. One of her loves, one of her joys is the media and film program. She's taken several levels of that course, and she's also served as a teacher's aide for the teachers in those courses. What she plans to do in the future is a little bit unsure right now, but we're excited about what God has in store for you, Emily, and we wish you the very best, and we wish God's blessing upon you.